Once again, we are back on Boond Soch ttalk Train of Thought, the series of an management lesson learning from Hindi movie with Dr. Neil Sequeira. So, in fact, many of the movies which are made, as per the producer, they pump crores and crores of rupees, to draw in meaningful learning for the society at large. So, can you throw some light on what are the management lessons from Lagaan for our ttalk audience, please?
I think Lagaan is another very, very good movie which tells you how to not accept what is thrust upon you and try to make a change. The movie is about this guy Boond, who is confronted with an increased rate of taxation, where he goes and stands up, and the first lesson of the movie is he stands up to something which he thinks is irrational. Boond, like everyone else in that village, always had the option to accept what was told to him. In fact, people wondered why is he standing up to it. Not only that, when he is given a very, very ridiculous proposition by the white man to train a cricket team and defeat them in cricket, he accepts the challenge. And everybody wonders what is he going to do that, and the movie is about that. But it actually tells you that you have to somewhere at some point of time make a beginning. You have to make a beginning at some point of time to question the status quo. You have to make a beginning sometime to actually stand up and actually ask questions that why are we doing this? And when it comes to you to actually get into the act of it and bring about some changes, you have to yourself begin. In that movie you find Boond himself picking up and trying to shape a bat and make stumps out of it. Unless he knows that unless he begins and he starts, he'll never be able to do that.
भूल भैया मेरी गिल्ली घूम गई दूसरी छील दो टीका है
बताता हूँ
Then when you look at him, how he selects his team, it's really very hilarious and it's very, very touching at the same time. He's got limited resources. We would say in today's management parlance, we would say extreme high amount of constraints. उसके बाद सर ऐसा कोई आदमी नहीं है जो आप बोलो ideal cricketer. They have never played cricket ever. But what can poor Boond do? These are the people he's got. In management also many a times we are faced with a situation where this is all that we have and we have to deliver with this all.
How to manage the resources.
How to manage the resources. We always talk about constraints and resources. There are constraint theories which are written.
Right.
And Boond not only selects whatever he's got, he also actually analyzes and identifies roles for every one of them.
Right.
To the best of their ability.
Right.
He sees talents in them which can be used at a later point of time. So what many people think is a handicap is actually a plus for Boond.
Yeah.
Because he's got an uncanny ability to actually identify talent.
कचरा गेंद फेंक अरे कहाँ देखा थे गेंद फेंक ना अरे क्या किया तूने
मैंने क्या किया तुम ही कहो फेंको सो
इधर आ। अरे इधर आ ना
मैंने कुछ नहीं किया तुम ही कहो फेंको सो मैं फेंका
अरे सब लोग इधर आओ अली जमीम साहब दौड़ से देखो कचरा को की गेंद को एक कचरा चलो फिर से फेंक
मैंने कोनो जुर्म नहीं की ये भुवन भैया जो कहा सो मैं फेंका
कचरा गेंद फेंक नहीं बाई से नहीं हाथ से फेंक देखा? कहा फिर की मारत है.
Pacing.
Not only that, every member of the team, if you look through the movie, he treats differently.
Correct.
Each of them feels that he's special, and each of them feels that he's being treated specially.
Correct.
And that is the skill set of Bhuvan as a leader, where his ability to communicate with each and every one of them, motivate each and every one of them, get into altercations with each and every one of them, and finally prepare a team.
Correct.
Then he starts training the team. He knows that unless these people are going to train, work, train, work, they are never going to deliver.
Correct.
So, in organizations also, training is a very, very important part. At an individual level also, unless you're going to train, you're going to do the same thing again and again,
Correct.
you're not going to be good at it.
Correct. Then it
Bhuvan knows that he's going to deal with a bunch of experienced English cricketers. Whatever time he's got in hand, he's got these people to train, and he trains them. And we know what happens. He is not afraid to go back and correct his team. Many a times he thinks his strategy is going wrong, many a times he thinks somebody is doing, he goes and corrects. He does not accept, ऐसा नहीं यार इसका क्या होगा, चलो यार इससे चला लेते हैं. No. In that movie, from an ordinary person like Bhuvan, आपको कहीं भी चलता है एटीट्यूड नहीं दिखता. ना जब वो पहली बार जब वो लगान लेने से मना करता है, till the end उसका चलता है, कहीं पे भी आपको एटीट्यूड नहीं दिखता. He is a man who's striving for the so-called perfection with a bunch of absolute imperfect people.
Correct.
Right? And for that he's willing to ask for help. He doesn't have any problem when Elizabeth offers him to help. He's very happy.
Yeah.
His ego, he doesn't allow his ego to come in way. Or he trusts, his ability to even trust Elizabeth.
Trust the people.
So, that is where the entire beauty of the movie lies, that here is a man who's put into a particular situation. He not only accepts the challenge, he builds a team, learns a skill set, makes them stand,
Right.
and then finally ultimately wins because he is not willing to give up.
Correct.
बहुत बार आपको लगता है कि situation around is so bad that he is on the verge of he's frustrated, but he doesn't give.
Good, great. I think many a times one goes to a movie for an entertainment, but there's a great management lesson which one needs to extract from that. As some of the lessons what Dr. Neil have spoken over here in terms of when you should ask a question, you have to make a beginning to a certain extent, and the selection of a team, like like how Boond have treated each one specially and differently, and train the trainer and back and correct your team. And also I think as a leader you should not hesitate in asking for help, and don't give up an attitude was an approach. Like that's what happens in an organization.
Right.
And one how can effectively use the limited resources to the best of his ability and great outcome. That's what this movie is all about. Do catch up with Dr. Neil Sequeira for another movie interpretation or management lesson on this ttalk Boond Soch. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you, man.